Welcome to SpeakEasy English Podcast, where English becomes simple.
Have you ever watched an English movie and thought, I know these words, but I can't understand what they're saying? You sit there, focused, trying to catch every sound. But everything melts together, like music without meaning. And suddenly, you feel lost. You think, maybe my English isn't good enough. Maybe I'll never understand native speakers, but let me tell you something, it's not your fault. Even native speakers don't understand everything they hear. It's not about intelligence. It's not about talent. It's about training your ears to listen the right way. When I first started learning Spanish, I remember sitting in a cafe, surrounded by people talking fast, their words flowing like water. I understood nothing. But little by little, my brain began to recognize rhythm, emotion, and melody, and suddenly, everything changed. The same will happen for you in English. Because understanding fast English isn't magic. It's a skill you build, day by day, moment by moment, and in today's lesson, I'll show you how to train your ears to understand native English naturally, without stress, without subtitles, and without fear. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly why you can't understand native English yet. And most importantly, how to fix it forever. So take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and get ready to unlock your ears and your confidence. But before we start, if you love learning English through real stories, slow speaking, and shadowing practice, make sure to subscribe to SpeakEasy English and leave a comment below saying, I'm ready to unlock my ears. Because your voice, your comment, and your support help me keep creating free lessons every week to make English learning simple, natural, and powerful for you. All right. Let's begin. Why you can't understand native English. Have you ever wondered why you can read English perfectly, but when you listen, it feels impossible? Why can you understand me right now, but when you listen to a movie or a podcast, everything disappears? It's not because you're bad at English. It's because you were never trained to listen like a native. Let me explain something powerful. There are two main reasons why you can't understand native English yet. Once you understand these, everything starts to make sense. The first reason, you don't recognize the words when they're spoken naturally. You might know thousands of English words. You've studied them. You've memorized them. But here's the truth, when native speakers talk, they don't say them clearly like your teacher or your textbook. For example, look at this simple sentence, I'm going to want to go soon. If I say it slowly, it's easy. I'm going to want to go soon. But when native speakers talk, they connect sounds. They relax the pronunciation. Listen again, I'm gonna want to go soon. Now it's almost like one long sound, I'm gonna want to go soon. It's fast. It's natural. And your brain can't separate the words yet. It's like trying to see fish in a river that's moving too fast. The fish are there, but you can't catch them, not yet. The good news? Your brain can learn to do it, step by step. You just need to train your ears, not your eyes. Stop reading subtitles. Start listening for rhythm, emotion, and music in English speech. That's when understanding truly begins. The second reason, you don't know how to process what you hear. Even if you know all the words, your brain still needs time to connect them. When someone says, "Would you like some coffee?" you might think, "What is would ya?" It's not a new word, it's would you. But because it's pronounced differently, your brain doesn't recognize it. So, you freeze. You miss the next sentence. And then, everything feels like noise. This is called listening overload. It happens when your brain tries to translate, think, and understand all at once. And that's what makes you feel frustrated. But here's the secret. Fluent listening isn't about understanding every word. It's about catching the idea, the emotion, and the intention behind the sound. When you focus on the general meaning, not every single word, your ears start to relax. And when your ears relax, your brain starts to learn faster. Think of it like learning to swim. If you fight the water, you sink. If you relax, you float. That's exactly how English listening works. You don't force it, you flow with it. From now on, stop asking, "How can I understand every word?" Instead, ask, "How can I understand the message?" Because fluency doesn't start in your mouth. It starts in your ears and in your mind. Coming up next, I will reveal how to fix it step by step, how to train your ears like an athlete trains their body. With daily routines, emotional connection, and shadowing exercises that will finally help you understand English naturally. How to train your ears, step by step, now that you understand why listening feels difficult. Let's talk about how to fix it. Let's train your ears together, because listening is not a gift. It's a muscle. And just like any muscle, the more you train it, the stronger it becomes. When I started learning French, I remember listening to native speakers on the metro. They spoke so fast, I couldn't even catch one full sentence. But instead of feeling defeated, I made a small promise to myself: every day, I'll listen. Even if I understand only one word. That one promise changed everything. So here's your step-by-step guide to unlock your English listening. Step 1. Always be listening from now on. Make English your background sound. Listen when you wake up. Listen while you're walking, cooking, cleaning, or before you sleep. Why? Because your brain learns patterns through exposure. Even when you're not paying full attention, your mind is collecting rhythm, tone, and connection between words. It's like a baby learning its first language. They don't study grammar, they absorb sounds. That's what you must do too, but don't listen to just anything. Listen to what makes you feel something: music, podcasts, stories, or lessons like this one. When you enjoy the sound, your brain opens. And when your brain opens, it remembers. So, your new rule: always be listening. Even 10 minutes a day can change everything. Step 2. Choose the right audio. Not every English audio helps you grow. Some are too hard, some are too easy. You need something that fits you, something you understand about 70% of. If it's too easy, you won't learn. If it's too hard, you'll get frustrated. So find the middle, the sweet spot. Maybe it's a podcast about your hobbies. A TV show you already watched in your language. Or a YouTube video where the speaker talks clearly and slowly. Make it personal. When you care about the topic, you'll care about the words. And that's how comprehension grows naturally. Step 3. Shadowing practice now. This is where magic happens. Shadowing means listening and speaking at the same time. It's not just repeating words, it's copying rhythm, emotion, and flow. You're training your mouth to move like a native's mouth, and your ears to predict what comes next. For example, listen to me, I'm gonna grab a coffee. Repeat slowly, I am gonna grab a coffee. Now naturally, I'm gonna grab a coffee. When you shadow, you're not only improving pronunciation, you're teaching your brain to connect sound plus meaning instantly. This is exactly how fluent speakers think. They don't translate. They react. So find short clips, 1 minute, 2 minutes. Listen, pause, shadow. Do it daily. Because shadowing transforms listening into speaking power. Step 4. Focus on meaning. Not words. Here's a mistake most learners make. They listen to every single word trying to translate, but translation kills fluency. Instead, try to understand the general message, the emotion, the intention. For example, if someone says, "Hey, what's up? Long time no see." You don't need to translate it word by word. You just feel the meaning. They're happy to see you again. That's how your brain becomes fluent, by feeling the meaning. Not chasing every sound. The more you relax, the more your ears will adapt to natural English. Step 5. Be consistent and curious. Most people listen once and stop. But the real learners, the ones who understand everything, listen again and again. The first time, you notice the words. The second time, you notice the emotion. The third time, you notice the connection. Repetition isn't boring, it's power. Every time you listen again, your brain says, "Oh, I know this sound now." That's how understanding becomes natural. And never forget to stay curious. Ask yourself, what did I learn from this sound? What did I feel when I heard this sentence? Fluency isn't just hearing. It's feeling, reacting, and connecting. Beautiful job so far. You're not just learning English, you're retraining the way your mind listens to the world. In the next part, I will share a real-life story from one of her students who went from "I understand nothing" to "I can finally follow every podcast without subtitles." It's emotional, powerful, and full of lessons you can apply today. Let me tell you a story. It's about one of my students. Her name is Sophia. And maybe her story is your story too. When Sophia joined my class, she said something I'll never forget. "Kate, I can read English books. I can write emails. But when people talk to me, I feel blind. I hear words, but I don't understand them. It's like my brain freezes." She looked tired. She said she had been studying English for 6 years, but she still needed subtitles for everything. She couldn't watch movies without them. She couldn't follow podcasts. And in meetings at work, she smiled politely, even when she didn't understand what was being said. Can you relate to that feeling? You study, you try, you listen. But it feels like all your effort is not enough. That was Sophia, asterisk asterisk. Asterisk so, I told her something simple. From now on, stop trying to be perfect. Start training your ears like an athlete trains their body. At first, she didn't understand what I meant. So we began small. Every morning, she listened to 10 minutes of slow, clear English while drinking her coffee. She didn't translate. She didn't pause. She just listened for rhythm, tone, and feeling. Then, every night, she listened again, the same audio. The first time, she understood maybe 30%. The second time, 50%. By the fifth day, she was finishing the sentences before they came, and one day, something magical happened. She texted me and said, "Kate, I just watched an entire YouTube video without subtitles. For the first time in my life." She felt proud, emotional, like she had unlocked a door inside her mind. Her ears had finally learned to think in English. That's when I told her, "You see, it wasn't your brain that was broken. It was your listening habits." Because the truth is, understanding English is not about memorizing words. It's about recognizing sounds and meaning in real time. And that comes from emotion, repetition, and consistency. So here's what Sophia did, and what you can do too. Choose one audio, maybe a story like this, or a podcast you love. Listen to it every day for 7 days. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Just focus on the main idea. Repeat aloud after each sentence. Even if you make mistakes, keep going. Notice your progress. Because by day 7, you'll realize something beautiful. You understand more. Without even trying. That's what happened to Sophia. After a month, she started listening to English songs and catching words she never noticed before. After 3 months, she joined a meeting at work, and for the first time, she answered confidently, without translating. And now, she tells me, "Kate, I don't study English anymore. I live it." That's the secret. When you stop fighting English and start living it, your fluency grows naturally. So ask yourself today, do you want to keep translating? Or do you want to start feeling English? Because one day, you'll say exactly what Sophia said, "Oh my God. I understood everything, for the first time without subtitles." And when that day comes, you'll know, your ears finally woke up. I end the next part. I will guide you through a short shadowing and listening practice. So you can start training your ears right now, in this moment. You'll repeat, feel, and connect, just like Sophia did. Now, it's your turn. Let's practice together. Find a quiet place, take a deep breath, and let's train your ears right now. Remember, don't try to understand every word. Focus on rhythm, on feeling, on the music of English. Ready? Let's begin. Morning listening practice. The simple start. I wake up and open the window. Repeat slowly. I wake up and open the window. Now naturally, I wake up and open the window. When you listen, Don't just hear the words, imagine them. Feel the sound, see the moment in your mind. I listen to the birds outside. Repeat slowly, I listen to the birds outside. Now naturally, I listen to the birds outside. That's the secret when you connect emotion to sound. Your brain remembers it forever. I take a deep breath and smile. Repeat slowly, I take a deep breath and smile. Now naturally, I take a deep breath and smile. Excellent. That's how real understanding begins, through calm. Connected listening. Everyday listening practice, real life flow. I'm making coffee and thinking about my day. Repeat slowly, I'm making coffee and thinking about my day. Now naturally, I'm making coffee and thinking about my day. Notice the rhythm, coffee and thinking both fall softly. That's natural English melody. I listen to an English podcast while I prepare breakfast. Repeat slowly, I listen to an English podcast while I prepare breakfast. Now naturally, I listen to an English podcast while I prepare breakfast. You see? You're doing exactly what native speakers do, connecting daily life to English sound. Evening listening practice, reflection and calm in the evening. I review what I learned today. Repeat slowly, in the evening. I review what I learned today. Now naturally, in the evening, I review what I learned today. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to keep going. Repeat slowly, I don't need to be perfect. I just need to keep going. Now naturally, I don't need to be perfect. I just need to keep going. Beautiful. That's not just grammar, that's mindset. Because English is not about perfection. It's about progress. Confidence shadowing, feel the message. I understand more every day. Repeat slowly, I understand more every day. Now naturally, I understand more every day. My ears are getting stronger. Repeat slowly, my ears are getting stronger. Now naturally, my ears are getting stronger. Point 1. I'm becoming fluent step by step. Repeat slowly, I'm becoming fluent step by step. Now naturally, I'm becoming fluent step by step, and you really are. Every sentence you repeat, every sound you feel, every minute you listen, it's building your English brain. You're not just learning English today. You're rewiring your mind to think, feel, and listen like a fluent speaker. The more you listen, the more natural it becomes. And one day soon, you'll realize that you can understand everything, without effort, without fear, without subtitles. That's the moment your fluency begins. You did it. Take a deep breath. You just completed a full English listening and shadowing session, and that means your ears, your confidence, and your fluency are already stronger than they were 30 minutes ago. But before we finish, I want you to remember something very important. Understanding English is not a race. It's a rhythm. It's a journey you walk one sound at a time. Some days you'll feel powerful, you'll listen to a podcast and understand everything. Other days, it'll feel like you're starting again. And that's okay. Because real fluency is built in silence, in those quiet moments when you keep going even when nobody sees. When you listen to English every day, you're not just learning a language. You're building a new version of yourself, someone patient, confident, and ready to communicate with the world. And when you shadow, when you repeat, you're not only copying sounds, you're training your brain to believe in you.so. Every time you feel stuck, remember this: your ears can learn. Your voice can grow. Your confidence can rise. You just have to keep showing up. Let me tell you something from my heart: you don't need to live in an English-speaking country to be fluent. You don't need to be perfect to be confident. You just need to be brave enough to start and persistent enough to continue, because the moment you choose to listen, you're already becoming fluent. Fluency doesn't come from fear. It comes from love for learning, for improving, for expressing who you are in another language. That's why I always say, fluency isn't about perfection. It's about connection. And right now, you're learning to connect with English and with yourself. Final practice: repeat after me. Repeat with me slowly. I'm not afraid of English. I'm learning every day. My ears are opening. My confidence is growing. I can understand native speakers. I can speak naturally. I'm proud of my progress. Now naturally, I'm not afraid of English. I'm learning every day. My ears are opening. My confidence is growing. I can understand native speakers. I can speak naturally. I'm proud of my progress. Beautiful. You've earned this moment. If you enjoyed this lesson, and if you want more powerful listening practices like this one, please subscribe to SpeakEasy English Podcast. And turn on the bell so you never miss a new episode every week. I create lessons like this with shadowing, slow listening, mindset, and real stories to help you grow step by step. And I'd love to hear from you. Tell me in the comments, what part of today's lesson helped you the most? Was it the listening practice? The shadowing? Or the story about Sophia? Your comment helps me make each lesson even better, and it reminds me that you're here, growing with me. Thank you for spending this time together today. Keep practicing, keep believing, and never stop listening. I'm Kate, and this is SpeakEasy English, where English becomes natural, emotional, and truly yours. See you in the next lesson, and remember, your ears are the first step to fluency.